So, here's a question for you. Is an 11-year-old crossover actually still worth your hard-earned money today? It's a question that constantly plagues the used car market, especially when we're talking about vehicles that were just wildly popular in their prime. In this explainer, we're going to take a completely objective, data-driven look at the 2015 Subaru XB Crosstrek to see if it truly holds up over a decade later. Welcome to the explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the definitive buyer's guide for the 2015 Subaru XB Crosstrek. We're going to explore the whole shebang together, from its surprisingly capable specs and top-tier safety ratings, straight into the documented, real-world mechanical flaws that every single potential owner absolutely needs to be aware of. All right, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Meet the 2015 Crosstrek. 2. Safety and specs. 3. 4 major mechanical issues. And 4. Buying smart, the inspection. Let's jump right into Section 1. Meet the 2015 Crosstrek, a global perspective. When this vehicle first launched, it wasn't just a hit in North America. It gained massive traction all over the world. Even 11 years later, its rugged, lifted design essentially defines what a modern compact crossover is supposed to look like. To really capture that adventurous vibe, there's this fantastic, colorful anecdote from an automotive review out of Georgia. They described it perfectly as a lifted Impreza where you can fold the seats flat to sleep under the stars. And honestly, with a cargo capacity expanding from 380 all the way to 1,270 liters, for anyone who wants serious utility without dragging around the massive footprint of a full-size SUV, it's basically a rolling base camp. Now, an Italian review actually praised the Crosstrek because its compact size makes city parking an absolute breeze. But hey, don't let that small footprint fool you for a second. When you look at its ground clearance, the Crosstrek sits at 22.1 centimeters. To put that into perspective, that actually beats out some traditional, much larger SUVs, like the Jeep Grand Cherokee, which sits at 21.8 centimeters. You are getting some very serious off-road capability packed into a city-friendly package. Moving right along to Section 2, Safety and Specs. Top-tier data. Okay, so beyond the rugged charm, we really need to validate this car's appeal with some hard data. When you compare the 2015 Crosstrek head-to-head against competitors like the Kia Sportage, Mazda CX-5, and Mini Countryman, you'll quickly notice its 148 horsepower is definitely on the lower end. I mean, it's not a race car, right? However, it totally makes up for it by offering standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, something the Kia and Mazda actually lack at the base level, while still delivering a highly competitive 23 city and 31 highway MPG. That is just a fantastic compromise between capability and daily efficiency. But let's be real, the absolute most crucial point is how well it actually protects you. And the data here is just phenomenal. The 2015 Crosstrek earned the prestigious IHS Top Safety Pick Plus award. It scored good ratings across the board in all major crashworthiness categories. But the real standout metric? The roof strength. In IHS testing, this car's roof withstood an astonishing 15,525 pounds of force. That gives it a strength-to-weight ratio of over 5.2. It is quite literally built like a tank. There is a really fascinating contrast in the specific safety features here, though. If you manage to find a model equipped with the optional eyesight system, its front crash prevention is rated as superior. We're talking successfully avoiding collisions in both 12 and 25 mile-per-hour track tests. Amazing, right? But on the flip side, and this is big for families, the child seat anchor ease of use is only rated marginal. The anchors are buried deep inside the rear seats, up to 6 centimeters down, making them frustratingly difficult to maneuver around. Definitely a detail you'll want to keep in mind if you've got toddlers. All right, Section 3, 4 major mechanical issues, the hidden costs. Now we transition to where you really need to pay attention. We are pulling back the curtain on the hidden repair costs. Based on over 2,930 documented owner reports aggregated from Auto7, we found a pretty striking number, $8,500. Yep, that is the maximum potential repair cost you could face for a complete CVT or continuously variable transmission replacement. The Linetronic CVT in these models is practically notorious for severe chain stretch and transmission judder, particularly when you're accelerating between 20 and 45 miles per hour. If software updates and valve body replacements don't fix it, an $8,500 full replacement might literally be your only option. So when does all this stuff actually happen? To help you anticipate these costs, we've mapped out the chronological life of the car's major wear and tear. Between 50,000 and 90,000 miles, you can expect a humming or growling noise, which indicates premature wheel bearing failure. That's usually a $300 to $800 fix. Around 80,000 to 120,000 miles, you might start to experience a dangerous 1 to 2 second CVT hesitation when accelerating from a dead stop. And right alongside that, right in that 80,000 to 130,000 mile window, is when that critical CVT chain stretch usually rears its ugly head. But hey, the transmission isn't the only critical issue here. The 2-liter FB20 engine is plagued by excessive oil consumption, mostly due to defective piston rings. The symptoms? You could be burning over a quart of oil every 1,500 to 2,500 miles. You'll start seeing low oil pressure warnings, maybe some blue-gray exhaust smoke on cold starts, fouled spark plugs, and eventually catalytic converter failure throwing a P0420 code. Fixing those piston rings or completely replacing the short block can cost up to $4,000. Ouch. Which brings us to Section 4, Buying Smart, the inspection, navigating the used market. Now, I really don't want you walking away terrified of the used market. The Crosstrek is a fantastic car if you just know how to navigate these risks. To avoid a used car nightmare, you should borrow a page right out of Subaru's playbook, their official certified pre-owned 152-point inspection. Let me tell you, it is grueling. It covers absolutely everything, from ensuring there are 0 CVT warning lights, to checking axle seals, all the way down to verifying that the tires have proper tread depth and matched patterns. Even if you aren't buying a CPO vehicle directly from a dealer, you absolutely must demand your independent mechanic run through a strict checklist just like this one. To protect your wallet, you've got to stick to the strict baseline rules of that inspection. These are immediate disqualifiers, no exceptions. Number 1, ensure it has a squeaky clean Carfax history report with no total loss or lemon law brands. Number 2, verify the vehicle is in stock condition. No weird aftermarket non-OEM components floating around. And number 3, this is the biggest red flag of all. Absolutely no performance modifications. If a previous owner tried to tune or modify this car in any way, it instantly disqualifies it from certification. And for sure, that is your cue to walk away. So, all of this brings us to our final thought. The 2015 Subaru XV Crosstrek is, without a doubt, an absolute masterclass in packaging. It offers incredible ground clearance, top-tier safety ratings, and amazing utility in a city-friendly size. But, as we've seen, those incredible highs come with documented, potentially very expensive lows in the engine and transmission. So, I leave you to weigh the data. Does the Crosstrek's rugged charm and undeniable utility truly outweigh the potential risk of an $8,500 repair bill? Keep that front of mind as you hunt for your next adventure vehicle. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy hunting.